And good evening. Welcome to the April 11th regularly scheduled meeting of the Glendale Commission on the Status of Women. Ms. Baboumian, may we have roll call, please?
Commissioner Danalian. Chair Devine.
Here.
Commissioner Garsavanian. Commissioner Hunt.
Present.
Vice Chair Tashchin.
Here.
Commissioner Walker.
And that was Ms. Cordova, not Ms. Baboumian. Thank you. Next item, please.
The agenda for April 11, 2011 meeting was posted on the bulletin board outside of City Hall on or before April 8, 2011. 2 is introductions and presentations. 2A is Peace Over Violence, Sexual Assault Awareness Month, and Denim Day.
Chair Devine, members of the Commission, we have Erin Masco, who is here as representing Peace Over Violence, to talk to us about Sexual Assault Awareness Month and Denim Day.
Hi.
Hi, Erin.
Thank you for having us here. Well, Peace Over Violence. I was just going to start with a little history about Denim Day and why it's so important to people of Glendale. So Denim Day, is anybody familiar with it? All of you? The history?
But the people in the audience
watching on TV
will not know,
Okay,
so why don't
good.
you explain it to them?
Sure. So Denim Day happened back in 1997 in Italy. There was an 18-year-old girl who wanted to take her driving lessons like most teenagers, and she went to take a driving lessons with this man who was 45 years old, married, the instructor. She hops into his car ready for her lesson, and instead of getting a lesson, she is pulled over to an alley, dumped out, beaten, and raped, and he left her there and continued driving. She found her way home, told her parents about this, and they pressed charges, and they were very supportive of that. And they ended up succeeding and got him convicted and sentenced. Now, this trial, this court case, made it all the way up to the Italian Supreme Court, where they, in 1999, reversed it, saying that since she was wearing skinny, tight pants, that meant that she must have been the one to take them off, because there's no possible way that anybody else could take off her jeans. Therefore, she was a willing participant, and it wasn't called rape. So the case was overturned, and he was let go. And the next day, the women of the Italian Assembly had a mini protest that caught the world's attention, where they all wore jeans to the Italian Assembly, and businesswomen and everybody decided to wear jeans in protest, and that started a global movement called Denim Day, which is why I am wearing jeans today. Denim Day in Los Angeles is actually April 27th, and there will be speakers and protests and demonstrations and educational awareness events all throughout the city of Los Angeles and all across the world, actually. And somebody, when I was giving a presentation, asked me, they said, well, that was in Italy, why should we care? And that's because the issue of sexual assault on women and men is a global issue with such high local impacts. It impacts the economy, it impacts our families, it impacts every facet of our community. And so the whole idea behind Denim Day is to get rid of the myths and excuses behind sexual assault and sexual violence. So the first excuse was the biggest one that started Denim Day, which is what you're wearing determines whether it is sexual assault or not. And so obviously we have determined that you can wear whatever you want and doesn't give anybody a right to assault you. You can wear short skirts, tight jeans, whatever you want. That's your right and your freedom. So there's nothing a victim can do to ask to be raped. Nobody asks to be raped. And then we have come up with, over the years, a few more myths and excuses of the most common ones that we found. I'll pass them around, but I'll explain my favorite ones. So the one that actually I just read an article today, was on the Daily Beast, and it was about sexual assault in the military, specifically to deal with men. And one of the excuses you'll see is that the intensity just got to him. That's an excuse to rape. Well, he didn't mean to. The intensity of war got to him. First of all, with women, you're more likely, twice you're more likely to be raped or assaulted as a soldier in the United States Army than you are as an average citizen. You're more likely to be raped or sexually assaulted in the United States Army than you are to die in combat. So really, women who are joining the forces are fighting a whole different kind of war than just the war we sent them to fight. And that's one aspect of it. And the other aspect is male-on-male sexual violence, which is happening in the military. And one of the things that they said today was that it's about power, because rape and the core essence of it is about power and controlling another person. So a fairly common, not talked about practice in the military is gang rape of lower ranking soldiers. And the VA said today that there are 50,000 soldiers this year who have reported military sexual trauma, male soldiers. So it is a huge problem, and that's something that we don't think about, and we never, and the excuse is, oh, they're men, oh, it's just war, oh, it got to them. But that's really something that they're going to bring back, and it doesn't feel like just intensity to the victim. Another one that I passed around was she couldn't hear, speak, or report, and it's about people with disabilities, specifically hearing impaired individuals. And somebody who's a hearing impaired individual is twice as likely to be sexually assaulted than somebody who is not. And that is because the sense of vulnerability that the perpetrator finds. So again, an excuse, well, she can't hear, so it doesn't matter. She's not going to report me, so it doesn't matter. So these are the things that we've created, these excuses. And we do have a culture of victim blaming. You can even see it on the news where they say the accuser instead of the victim. It puts a little different connotation on it. So we do have a tendency to ask questions about the victim, like what was her sexual history? How many partners has she had? Well, was she promiscuous? What was she wearing? Was she drinking? And that's not the important question. The important question is who did it and how do we punish them, or her. Because, again, a victim never asks to be raped. Nobody does. And consent is given actively, not passively, which is probably the next most important thing to know. So without the presence of an absolute yes, a verbal, signed language, written yes, then it is not consent. And none of these excuses can make up for that lack of consent. So in order to get involved with Denim Day, you can go to Denim Day LA or Denim Day USA in the USA.org. Wear jeans on April 27th, and I'd encourage you to let everybody in this, in City Hall and all these offices wear jeans for the day. I know you probably have a business casual uniform, but dress code, but to wear jeans, and you'll get questions asked, well, why are we allowed to wear jeans? And that will spark a conversation that can really open people's eyes to what's going on. You can volunteer for Peace Over Violence or other sexual assault agencies. Something even as simple as donating your Facebook status to a fact about sexual assault. If everybody did that, how many millions of people are on Facebook? That could really get to people. So there are a lot of simple ways that you can really spread the message. But the most important thing is to realize and confront these myths for yourselves and truly understand them, so that when somebody comes to you as a victim or somebody starts blaming a victim, you can combat that with the truth and you have the knowledge yourself. So thank you for letting me do this, and do you have any questions that I can answer?
Thank you for coming here tonight, Erin, to speak with us. I'm really proud, and I think the Commission is proud of the Glendale City employees, because every year they wear denim on Denim Day, and so far we have donated, or they have donated, over $5,000 to Peace Over Violence. And so I commend them, and I just want you to know that they do participate, and the Commission encourages all women in Glendale and everywhere to wear denim on that day. Do we have any questions from my fellow commissioners? No? What is the number in case someone wants to get more information or volunteer for Peace Over Violence?
I don't know off the top of my head, but
Okay.
on the bottom of those flyers that I passed out.
Small for me to see, I'm afraid, otherwise.
Yeah.
Does anyone have it? Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay, for Los Angeles, it's 213-626-3393. So 213-626-3393. And that's free, confidential, 24 hours, bilingual. You can call it any time, day or night.
Okay, and I notice on here that there is a hotline.
That's the hotline she gave.
That the 800 number?
The 800 number is the national
hotline,
which
right.
is 1-800-656-HOPE, HOPE. So that can give you resources on a national level.
And if they call your hotline, this is for support, and what else happens on your hotline, if you could
Sure.
explain that to our viewers?
Well, it's a crisis line for both domestic violence and sexual assault. So if you are experiencing those, you can call them. Also, if you know somebody who's experiencing that and you need help getting resources or giving advice, you can call that as well. So it's informational as well as crisis hotline. Now, once you call that, where that leads to, it could lead to counseling, it could lead to peer groups, educational sessions. There's tons going on, so if you call that hotline, even if you just want to learn more about Denim Day, you can do that as well, and we'll direct you to where you need to go.
So if anyone is watching tonight and they have a friend who is involved in domestic violence or sexual assault, they are able to call the LA hotline, which is 213-626-3393.
Correct.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you
Erin.
for having me. Continued great work.
Do our best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item, please.
3 is oral comment. Discussion is limited to items not a part of this agenda. Time is limited to an amount to be set by the chair. The commission may question or respond to the speaker, but there will be no debate or discussion. Staff may refer the matter to the proper department for investigation.
Okay, I have no cards, so we'll move on to the next item, please.
4 is consent items. 4A is approval of the minutes of the regular commission meeting held on February 14th, 2011.
Are there any corrections or additions to the minutes?
I move approval.
Second?
Second it.
And do we have consensus, unanimous? Yes. Next item, please.
5 is business agenda. 5A is action items. 5A1 is update of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, SAM activities. 5A1A is motion providing direction regarding SAM activities.
Ms. Blumian, a report, please.
Chair Devine, members of the Commission, at the last regular meeting in February, the Commission approved the calendar of events for the April 2011 SAM activities meant to raise awareness and provide education regarding sexual assault. This report is being provided as an update to the Commission on the approved activities and to present the Commission with the opportunity to provide any additional direction. The first event that the Commission had was the proclamation for Sexual Assault Awareness Month and Denim Day in Glendale. The Mayor and the City Council presented a proclamation for SAM and Denim Day in Glendale to the Commission on Tuesday, March 29 at the Glendale City Council meeting. Chair Devine, along with Vice Chair Tashian and Commissioner Hunt, were there to accept the proclamation on behalf of the Commission. The second event taking place is the self-defense classes, and the Commission had secured the 2 self-defense classes to provide to women and girls in the community at no cost to them. And one of the classes will be held at Glendale Community College, as was the direction. We have had already one of the classes that took place the evening of Thursday, April 7th at the Glendale Police Department. It drew over 50 women with a diverse range of background and ages. The second of the 2 classes will take place Thursday, April 21st from 5:30 to 8 p.m. at Glendale Community College, which is located at 1500 North Verdugo Road in Glendale. The class is open to all women and girls in the community. It is free for participants. Space is limited. We have about 20 spots left, so anyone who would like to participate can register by calling 818-548-4844 or sending an email to women@ci.glendale.ca.us. and the classes are being provided by longtime commission partner Shield Self-Defense, which is led by founder Nelson Neo. And I can say that the women and the girls who were there really did enjoy the class very, very much. The third event is Denim Day in Los Angeles and in Glendale. And for the past 5 years, the Commission has supported Peace Over Violence as for Denim Day in LA, and we've had a fundraising drive here at the City of Glendale. And over the past 4 years, the Commission has donated over $4,500 to Peace Over Violence. And this year's Denim Day is Wednesday, April 27th. The final event taking place at the end of the month is the Take Back the Night Rally and Clothesline Project exhibit. And this has become known internationally as a visible way to take a stand against sexual violence, specifically violence against women. And staff has been working with the YWCA on planning this upcoming event. Again, it will be held Thursday, April 28th. It will begin at 6 p.m. on the steps of the Glendale Police Department, located at 131 North Isabel Street. There, we'll have the City Council, the Commission, the YWCA Board, and the Glendale Police Department present to provide some words on sexual assault, rape, child abuse, domestic violence, and stalking in the City of Glendale. At about 6:20 p.m., everyone will march through Parcher Plaza and Perkins Plaza of the City campus, head up Glendale Avenue towards Lexington Avenue towards the YWCA. So the march will go up Glendale Avenue. And from 6:30 to 7 p.m., there will be refreshments served, and the Clothesline Project will be on display for participants to observe. And at 7 p.m., the remainder of the program will commence at the YWCA. There, Patty Giggins, the Executive Director of Peace Over Violence, will speak about the history of Take Back the Night and what it means. And Jasmine Seha, who we've seen here, Break the Cycle, Volunteer Youth Coordinator, will discuss youth challenges and dating violence and how youth can get engaged in Break the Cycle. Participants can park at the city civic structure, or they can park at the Y and make their way to either end however they feel best. And at this time, staff recommends that the Commission provide any additional direction there may be regarding the activities happening in the month of April. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Baboumian. I do have the proclamation for everyone to see. It's quite beautiful. But one of the main points on the proclamation is, whereas every 2 minutes, someone in America is sexually assaulted. Approximately 1 in 6 women are raped during their lifetime, and I think that is absolutely astounding. The Commission thanks the City Council for the proclamation for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. I have a few questions, but I'll let my fellow commissioners go ahead if any of you have questions about the activities. Commissioner Hunt?
I don't have a question, but I would like to say how pleased I am to see that we're starting to Take Back the Night. We're starting here and going there instead of starting there and coming down here and going back again. I mean, everybody will have to get back to where they left their car, but I think it's a great idea to start at City Hall or at the station. It's a good idea.
Anyone else? Now, the report says that 6 p.m. on the steps of the Glendale Police Department. Is that where we're starting?
Yes.
Okay, and then are we cutting through City Hall, the parking lot, or are we going up, is it Broadway, and then around on Glendale Avenue?
We
need visibility on this.
Chair Devine, I'm sorry, members of the Commission, we can cut through Parcher Plaza, which is the brick plaza that is between City Hall, the Municipal Services Building, and the Perkins Plaza, and take the side steps. This is just above Broadway to Glendale Avenue. So that would put you between, there are steps leading to Glendale Avenue between the Municipal Services Building and the Perkins Building on Glendale Avenue. So we will essentially just be a couple hundred feet north of Broadway at that point on Glendale Avenue. And then
I was just thinking of public visibility, and it seems that if we go from Isabel to Broadway, up Broadway, and then down Glendale Avenue towards the YW, we'd have more visibility. I don't know if there's a possibility I don't know how the other commissioners feel about that, rather than cutting through where we miss a lot of cars, because I know in the past when we've done this march, Cars will honk
Yep.
and look to see what we're doing and what the message is. And I think it's so important that I hate for us to cut through where there will be no one there to see what's going on. And I think Broadway is a very busy street. It's a very short block from Isabel to Glendale Avenue. So I'd like to suggest, if I may, if it's not too late, to contact the YW and see if we can change the route to from Isabel to Broadway, cross Glendale Avenue, and then end at the YW for more visibility.
Most certainly, Chair Devine, we can definitely take that feedback back to the Y, and I don't see any
Police
reason
department.
why that they would not want to go along with that.
Great. My second question is, I think it's fabulous that we're doing this self-defense class at Glendale Community College, and the 50 women that were that Commissioner Hunt and I viewed and participated with last week at the self-defense class absolutely loved the class, learned so much, but and some of them are coming to the second class, but they've asked me where on the college campus is the class. And I was actually in Vaughn's this weekend, and a young woman who comes to our classes asked me, when is the next one? And I said, well, it's, and it's at Glendale Community College. And she asked me where? And I said, I don't know. And where is the parking? So I think that's something that we have to get out there, that information.
It's on the flyer, and my apologies, Chair Devine, for not having that information here. It is the Student Services Center building, SC 212. It is, and on the flyer, the information is that people can park in Lot C, which is the new structure at the top of the hill at Glendale College. They can park on levels 1 and 2. There will be student staff there to help direct.
Good.
Students will be there to help direct people to the building. It's essentially the first building when you exit the parking structure elevators and walk towards the campus.
Is that on the, you have to take the ramp, what do you call it, the walkway to the elevators down?
To the
so
elevator
we park
down, and it's
Okay.
the first building to the right.
Okay, so on going up Mountain, no, is it Mountain?
Yes, Mountain.
Going up Mountain, where do they exit to the parking structure? Which is it, the first, second, or third? And the light? I mean, I'm trying to make it easy for people to find it, because that's very confusing, and every time I go to Glendale Community College, I never know where I'm going and
Right.
where I'm parking.
What we're doing when we take the RSVP information, I'm also capturing everyone's email addresses. And what will happen is the Monday before the self-defense class, everyone who's registered will get an email, a detailed email, which will include a parking map. It'll include directions on where to go. That's also what we did for the first set for people who RSVP'd. They got a map of the civic structure with indication of where to enter to park and then where to walk once they exit the parking lot. And that group will definitely get that. But for the sake of this meeting, I believe it's on Mountain. They put in a new street light there.
Yes, okay.
So that
The
there's
light,
safe
at the light.
entrance to the parking structure, and it's the first big lot. I think you're kind of forced to go towards it, and they can park on levels 1 and 2. And I don't know if Student Ex Officio Commissioner Donnellian has anything to add, since she's on the campus, and I know she's involved a little bit with this end of the planning.
Yeah, just everything Christine said was correct. There's just going to be a stoplight, and all you have to do is make a left, and make sure not to park in the open area because you need a permit for that. So just go into the building, and then there'll be a security guard, and they'll give you more details. And then also we'll put up big white signs.
Good, okay.
To direct the people which way to go. I guess we could make it from the elevators just so people won't
Yes,
get
well, and I think you should maybe put one on Mountain as well, somewhere on the gate, the fences that are up.
Okay.
Put one there, a big sign that says self-defense class.
Okay,
So that they and I've been, I don't know if your ears have been ringing, Commissioner Donnellian, because I've been raving about you and your suggestion to have this at Glendale Community College to everybody I talk to, because I think it's a fabulous idea to get the co-eds involved.
I mean, I've been getting, a lot of people have been really excited about it, and a lot of women I've talked to have experienced domestic violence. Like I've said before, there's a wide range of women. There are women who have kids there, and they've been going they've been going into their sexual awareness like meetings and stuff, but they're just happy because I was talking to one mother and she was telling me, oh, I have to bring my daughter to this too. So it's good. I'm getting good feedback, so I'm excited.
Well, I know at the last class we had young girls and women between the ages of, maybe 10. I know one was 13 all the way up to the 70s. So we were covering a wide range of ages, and it's great. And I just want to add one more thing before we move on to the next item. I don't want to take too long on this one. As I was watching one of the Dateline programs, I think over the weekend or last week, and they were talking about Amber Dubois and Chelsea, and I forget what Chelsea's. They were both killed in Orange County. And the commission actually did a vigil for Amber Dubois in Glendale 2 months after she disappeared. We had it out in Perkins Plaza. The parents came and we had flyers because at that time they felt that maybe she was still alive, and so we were trying to raise awareness of her disappearance. And on this program, they were saying that Gardner is the offender, and he killed the 2 girls, but one got away, one escaped. And the way she did it was with an elbow like this to the nose, which is exactly what we learned at the self-defense class. And I guess she hit him so hard, he released her and she ran. So the self-defense classes you just never know when you might need them, but they can be invaluable and save a life. So I encourage women out there that are watching, no matter how old you are, you just absolutely never know when this could happen. But please take advantage of these self-defense classes, or this last one that we're having, and be there. And call 548-4844 and make a reservation, and we'll get you all the information. So thank you. I think we've done the Commission has done, and Ms. Baboumian, a wonderful job for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Just a great job. And we're getting so many participants, and I encourage everyone to come to the march as well. Okay, if we have no other comments, next item.
5A2 is update of the 2011 Jewels of Glendale event. 5A2A is a motion providing direction regarding the 2011 Jewels of Glendale event.
Ms. Baboumian?
Chair Devine, members of the Commission, this report is being provided as an update for the Commission's 7th Annual Jewels of Glendale Awards Luncheon. The upcoming Jewels event, as we all know, will be held on Thursday, May 5th at the Oakmont Country Club. Suzanne Watley Miller, who was the Mistress of Ceremonies for our Jewels Luncheon last year, has generously agreed to host again as our Mistress of Ceremonies. The nominations for the Jewel and Gem of Glendale Awards were submitted, the honorees were selected, and I am very pleased to announce that the Jewels of Glendale Women of Courage Award honorees are as follows: Mona Marcos, Lynn Raggio, Tanis Rines, and Blanca Zavala. All these women, they cover a wide range of different ages, from different organizations, from different walks of life, with vast number of experiences, and I believe it'll be a very nice program, and the opportunity to hear them speak will be absolutely wonderful. The GEM Scholarship Award will be given to a young lady named Ani Razekanian from Glendale High School. And in addition, the chair of the commission will give special recognition to Lana Haddad. So far, we have printed 1,000 invitations, paper invitations, and to date, approximately 650 of them have been distributed by mail. The invitation has been distributed electronically via email and is available on the Commission's website at www.ci.glendale.ca.us/women. Information will also be available. It'll start circulating, I believe, tomorrow on GTV6. So there will be a phone number and an email for people to call if they want tickets. The last day to secure a sponsorship or an advertisement is Thursday, April 21st, which is quickly approaching. And the last day to buy a ticket to the event is Thursday, April 28th. So anyone who's interested in buying a ticket must purchase them in advance, must purchase them at least a good week in advance. Members of the commission and staff have been actively working to secure silent auction items, as well as acquiring the giveaway swag items for the event. And to date, the commission has received a few sponsorships. We have a $5,000 diamond sponsorship from Glendale Adventist Medical Center, a $1,000 emerald sponsorship from Glendale Memorial Hospital, and from Glendale Water and Power. The improved budget for the Jewels of Glendale event is attached as Exhibit 1, and you can also see on this exhibit to date, well, as of April 6th, last Wednesday, what we have spent and what we have received as far as ticket and sponsorship sales. And at this time, staff respectfully requests any additional direction regarding the event. Thank you.
I'm going to throw it over to Commissioner Hunt. She's the chair of the event, and she has a report or any other information that she'd like to share.
Now, I know we've all been making phone calls and sending emails and talking to our friends about sponsoring and putting ads in ad books. I would encourage those community members who know the honorees to attend, first of all. Tickets are $65. Or if you can't come, put an ad in our ad book. Give us your business card and $100, and then you are in print encouraging and supporting your friends. I'm pleased with the big sponsorships. We need a couple more, but I know we're all working on that, and we are beginning to get a number of silent auction items in, so we want to be excited about that too. You have a number of silent auction items in, Commissioner Tastian? You said you had...
Well, I did speak to Ms. Babunian today, and right now we have approximately 15 items
Good.
that are up for silent auction, and 6 to 10 items that we're waiting word on. So hopefully we'll hit our goal of, I think, between 20 and 25.
And Commissioner Garsavanian, you were working on sponsorships. Do you have updates for
Ms.
us?
Babunian gave me an update on the current sponsors, and we have one diamond sponsor of $5,000 from the Glendale Adventist Hospital, 2 emerald sponsors for $1,000 from the Glendale Memorial Hospital and the Glendale Water and Power, 1 ruby sponsor from the Acura of Glendale for $500. Working on more. So please, sponsors, if you're out there and you'd like to sponsor our great event, please contact us. You can email me at ci.glendale.ca.us or any of the other commissioners, or Ms. Babunian at Glendale City.
And I know that our honorees are busy passing out invitations to their friends to fill tables too. So I think it's going to be a lovely event. I'm really thrilled about it. I can't wait. I'm sorry, Chair Devine, did you have a report?
Right. On the, well, I'm thrilled with the honorees, right, the awardees. We have women who've gone through domestic violence, homelessness, life-threatening illness, and heartbreak. And their stories are amazing, and I think if you come to the luncheon, you will appreciate the fact that they are really impressive role models for all young girls and women in our community. Their stories are riveting, so I hope that you will come to the luncheon. The tickets are $65. It's May 5th at Oakmont Country Club, which we're really happy about to be going back there. I just want to remind everyone that in February, last month, this commission allocated over $3,500 to programs that we are putting on, including the self-defense and other events that we're doing. So this luncheon is very, very important to us, the success of the luncheon, so that we can build our budget and have the funds necessary for the programs that we do put on in our community, so that I hope that my fellow commissioners will continue to work hard at their assignments, and I hope that all of you out there will buy a ticket and come and enjoy the afternoon. It will be great. Thank you. And I
Chair
think,
Devine?
yes.
I spoke to a couple women who said that they couldn't attend the event because it was on a Thursday and it was during the day, and I just want to remind everyone that it's during lunchtime, and if you work in Glendale or you live in Glendale, you can come for the lunch. It's from 12 to 1, just 1 hour out of your day. Have a wonderful lunch and go back to work.
Well, we're also happy to take donations
Yes, if they
Right.
can't make it, they can always
can't make
send
it,
in
they can write a check.
Send in an ad, $100 for an ad, a little their cards. That would be great. If they're working, they must have a business, and I think $100 gift certificate, for an ad would be wonderful. So go back to those women and get them on your list.
The hard reality is this is a fundraiser for us, so, we're celebrating outstanding women in our community that we're all pleased to know, but it's also a fundraiser for us.
Thank you, Commissioner Hunt. Next item.
5B is reports, information only. 5B1 is Commission on the Status of Women's 2011 Master Calendar of Events.
Okay, and Ms. Babumian, do you have a report or anything you want to add to this? Commissioners, fellow commissioners, have you looked over the calendar and have any additions or corrections?
Chair Devine, this is just the recurring calendar. If there's anything that needs to be updated
Okay.
that I've missed, please let me know, and I'd be more than happy to update it.
All right, while we're looking at the calendar, next month is Women's Health and Nutrition, and the National Association of Commissions on Women, the focus is osteoporosis and healthy bones. And so in the past, we have actually, when we focused on women's health, we did several forums and gatherings at the local hospitals for osteoporosis. So I'd like to request now if next month we can have someone, a doctor, come in or a medical practitioner come in and talk about osteoporosis to educate the women, since that is the national thrust. And let's see. And in July, I think you might add that the NACW convention is going to be in Phoenix.
Oh, yes, thank you very much.
You're welcome. July 22nd, I believe that is. Those two items. Anything else? Okay, then we'll accept the calendar as it is and move on to the next item.
5B2 is the ACCW report, Commissioner Garsavanian and Chair Devine.
Okay, so let's have our Chair Garsavanian go ahead first with your report.
It was a telephone conference a couple weeks ago, and it was a very short meeting. We are up to date on our dues. And there was also a second item on the agenda, was a statewide fundraising event. It was mentioned that we might want to have a movie screening of Gavin Newsom's wife's, Jennifer Newsom's movie that she directed. It's a documentary. It's called Misrepresentation, and it is about how mainstream media undermines American women in influential positions and the impact that it makes on young girls. And it's a great documentary. It focuses on Sarah Palin and Hillary Clinton on the 2008 elections and how they were portrayed in the media. And there's word on how we can maybe pick one theater that is statewide and have a screening on one day so everyone can go. The profits will be donated to the station. That's it.
All right, thank you. I also sat in on a teleconference call for the Executive Board of the Association of California Commissions for Women. That was on March 22nd. And they first discussed the California Commission is trying to become a 501c3 for various reasons, and they're in the process of getting this done. It seems to be a very long and arduous process, so they'll keep working on it. The next, I don't know if they mentioned it too, but the next ACCW meeting will be in Cambria, which I think would be beautiful and easy to get to. It's not like we'd have to fly somewhere, but it is in Cambria. I will let our representatives know that, and that will be on June 25th. Take a note. And as I said, the National Association will be meeting in Phoenix in July, and I'm thinking about going to that. I went to a couple of these, and they're just fabulous, and maybe one of the other commissioners would like to go as well. Another thing that we talked about, Marin County, and I'm mentioning this to the commission because I think it's a really interesting thing, event. They had a teen girls conference, and they used teenagers from the school district as ambassadors, and they were the ones that decided on the program for the conference. And they ended up having 125 girls in attendance, and they talked about the subjects, of course, for teenage girls: dating, violence, anorexia, healthy relationships, etc. So I just want to kind of put that in the back of all of our minds, because I think it's a great idea, and that would go right along with our Camp Rosie program. We could do something like that in the middle of the year for the teen girls, and we could put bullying in there and healthy dating and all the topics that domestic violence even, for the girls in Glendale. And the other thing I wanted to report on, and I think this is adorable, because next month, as I said, is Healthy Women Month for this commission, and I would want to stress osteoporosis. And they're starting, the National Association is starting a new program, and it's called Best Bones Forever. And it's a bone health campaign for girls and their BFFs. And the motto is to grow strong together and stay strong forever. And I think it's wonderful. And I'm hoping that we can work that into our Camp Rosie curriculum this summer. And I'm sure that when the gals get their fitness and nutrition, that they talk about strong, healthy bones, but this way they can actually maybe get involved in this program, Best Bones Forever. And I thought that was pretty great. Okay, so that's my report from the association teleconference call. Next item, please.
6 is commissioner and staff comments.
Okay, can we start with Ms. Donnellian tonight?
Sure.
Okay.
Just to start off, this past month, I believe March 29th was the last day. It was Women's History Month at GCC, so I just want to commend all the professors and everybody who was involved with that, because they did like a really good job with that. I mean, they all had their favorite women speeches and stuff, so it was really good. And they also had events. And then I also want to encourage everybody to come out for the self-defense class at GCC. I honestly took the class last year, and I could honestly say it's helped me so much. I've learned a lot, and I just want everybody to go out and just do it, because it's going to help you. So, and then I just want to remind everybody to wear denims on April 27th, because it's a big statement at GCC as well as the Glendale city. So,
Thank you. Commissioner Garsamanian?
I would like to encourage everyone to come to our Jewels of Glendale luncheon on May 5th, Thursday, from 11 to 1 at the Oakmont Country Club. We would like to see you there. Thank you.
Vice Chair Tostian?
Yes, thank you. Madam Chair and audience, listen, this is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And I'd like to inform the audience that anyone could be a victim of sexual assault. In fact, most sexual assault victims know their perpetrators. This is called acquaintance rape. It's called acquaintance sexual assault. And it's the least frequently reported type of assault. You know that, Madam Chair. You know that. By the time a girl graduates from high school, more than 1 out of 10 will be a victim of sexual assault. Once in college, nearly 20% of college students will be a victim of sexual assault. This has got to stop. In Glendale alone, 2010, There was 356 reported cases of rape and domestic violence in this city. That's got to stop. For the first 2 months of 2011, there's been over 65 cases of reported rape and domestic violence in the city of Glendale. That's got to stop. We're averaging one a day. That's one too many. I hope next year at this time, when I look at these figures, there's going to be a significant decrease. People have to be aware of what's going on out there. Part of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, for them to report crimes, doesn't matter if it's an acquaintance, doesn't matter if it's a minor crime of assault, because that will lead to something worse. Thank you.
And just to add to that, I just recently read that 55 to 95% of sexual assaults are never reported. So add those numbers into that equation. Commissioner Hunt.
Thank you, Commissioner Devine. And just to follow up on what Commissioner Tashian was just saying, there was just quite a lot of stuff in the news I think it was just last week, about difficulties they're having at Yale University. And they're closing down fraternities and making a huge deal there because the women at Yale are feeling very victimized, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So I had heard that statistic already. It's really appalling, actually. Okay, moving on to a more cheerful topic. This last Saturday night, Chair Devine and I are members of Sir Optimus International of Glendale, and we had, I think it was our 6th or 8th annual Bras for a Cause, where we raised money for breast cancer and other women's organizations in the community. And this is, as you can see, this is Groucho. So I bid on Groucho, and I got to take Groucho home. So I get to keep Groucho, and I'll haul him out next year as promotion. Commissioner Tashian, did you get a head-on look? So the theme this year was Bras for a Cause and the arts. So there was a Picasso look-alike one that was all cockeyed and funny. I mean, it was just hilarious. It was really, really fun. We raised a lot of money. We have a great time, and we had a big silent auction there, and I think we did a heck of a job. On a little bit more serious note, in February, Paula and Commissioner Devine and I were honored, or the commission was honored by the Glendale Council PTA for the work that we do on behalf of women in the community. So this is the nice plaque we got. This is an honorary service award. I don't know if you can see. Well, you can just see white. And a certificate from the school district.
It's like show and tell.
So we've been picking up awards in February. It was very nice. And coming this Saturday, Chair Devine and I again, we're doing lots of duets this month, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
We're going to make a presentation to the American Association of University Women, the Glendale branch here in Glendale, at the Oakmont. Hang out at the Oakmont a lot, too.
Right, yes.
And
nice.
we are going to be doing a presentation there on the history and current activities of the Commission. I think that's it.
Thank you, Commissioner Hunt. Ms. Baboumian, anything that you'd like to add before I...
Yes, I would just like to add that tomorrow, Tuesday, April 12th, is Equal Pay Day. And women, and everyone actually, is encouraged to wear red tomorrow to show that women and minorities are still in the red when it comes to dollars they earn compared to men with their pay. And Equal Pay Day was originated by the National Committee on Pay Equity in 1996 as a public awareness event to illustrate the gap between men's and women's wages. And since census statistics showing the latest wage figures will not be available until late August or September, the NCPE leadership decided years ago to select a Tuesday in April as Equal Pay Day. And the Tuesday was selected to represent how far into the work week women must work to earn what men earned in the previous week. And the date is also selected to avoid religious holidays and other significant events, but that's why it's selected. And because women earn less on average than men, they must work longer for the same amount of pay, and the wage gap is even greater for most women of color. And for more information, you can go to www.pay-equity.org/info. Thank you.
Ms. Donnelly?
Just because I forgot to say this, but I'd like to thank Chair Devine for coming to GCC and making a presentation to the Women's Health and Awareness Club. So thank you. And I also want to thank Christine Babumian because she's been working very hard to make the self-defense happen at GCC. So thank you. I think great thing. Now I'm done.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, I was going to mention that I spoke at GCC, and for Dr. Renner's class, there were about 35 attendees, and they were very observant and listened, and it was quite a nice experience, and I hope they learned a lot about the Commission and what we do, so it was an honor for me to do that. I want to recap from last month. I spent a day being principal of the day, or for the day, at the most amazing school, Mark Keppel Visual and Performing Arts Magnet School. Dr. Mary Mason is the principal, and they have about 900 students committed to education, reading comprehension, and the emphasis there is on music, dance, drama, visual arts, and their motto is make Keppel special, and they certainly are. That's a very special school, and it was my honor to be there. We also attended took part in the commission in Beneath the Veil, the play, Mary Appick's play. We did pay for a sponsorship to support the event. I know Commissioner Donnellian was there, and I have to thank those that did the program, because we paid for a small ad and we got a full page. So it was very, very nice of them, and we thank them for the extra support. On April 14th, this is concerning Bully Me Not. The Commission is involved in that coalition. April 14th is a Thursday, and at 6:30 p.m. we will be presenting Library Book Project at the Central Library. There will be refreshments, music, and books. Donations of a collection of books on anti-bullying will be made to all the libraries in Glendale. And so everyone is invited. It is National Library Week, so please join the coalition, of which the Commission is a part, for the Library Book Project, April 14th at 6:30 p.m. It goes from 6:30 to 8 p.m. I do want to mention and congratulate Seroptimist International for their Bras for Cause. It was a wonderful event and very successful. On Saturday, I also attended the Armenian Medical Association Ladies Auxiliary Luncheon, and they provide free mammograms to women who need them and can't afford them. So it's a fabulous project that this auxiliary does. Dr. Balian, a cardiologist from Glendale Adventist, spoke on heart attacks in women and prevention, and he was most interesting, and I would love to do sometime a collaboration with the Glendale Adventist on, he talked about the importance, of course, of exercise and diet, and it was extremely worthwhile. So I congratulate the auxiliary, the Armenian Ladies Auxiliary, for their success in the programs that they bring about, especially the mammogram program. And that would be it. I just hope to see all of you on May 5th at the luncheon at Oakmont. My parting words tonight are this. This is April and April showers and all of that. And I just I saw this quote and I loved it. And it is, life is not about waiting for the storms to pass. It's about dancing in the rain. Won't you come and dance with us in May and honor all of these women of courage that we'll be awarding, and get involved in your community. And with that, do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
And this meeting is adjourned at 6:28.